How do you like that, Sterling?
It has been spun, and now it's quilted.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are a trip.
Do you know what episode this is off the top of your head? Have any chance? I don't remember.
Nope.
Great. That's okay. We'll figure it
I
out.
was gonna say no. No, I don't know.
Okay. I'll do my thing as usual.
FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Courtney.
And I'm Alyssa.
This is the Indu Podcast, where drive time meets late night talk show and all that other stuff. This is the Indu Podcast. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. I didn't have my script ready, so I wasn't ready at all for any of this.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I just asked you guys before we started, hey, is everybody ready? We're all good? Yep. And
yep.
I'm just
This is on brand.
It's on. Yes,
right.
You're absolutely correct. This is
the
what
fun.
I do. This is what I do. This is episode whatever it is, and we are here in the summer heat. I forgot to ask you, Courtney, is it hot where you are too?
Who is it hot? So I'm in the South, and it's normally hot in the wintertime. So it's literally boiling outside. Literally boiling. Yes, it's very hot.
So I'm assuming like things are just like everything sweating, like stop signs, buildings, everything just.
Everything's sweating, like everything that you can think imaginable, even unimaginably, is absolutely sweating for sure. Yes.
Before my mind goes into dark places, Violissa, how is the South treating you today? Is it also toasty and, well, I don't know, burnt toast?
It was getting a little burnt toast today here in South Carolina. I'm currently outside on the porch and it's getting a little cloudy, so maybe try to not be so burnt toast this evening.
Okay.
That's enjoying it, Courtney. Yeah, you sweat in places where you didn't realize sweat could exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting. I've been working on my tan. I'm in a nice toasty brown, just kind of all over right now. I feel like there would be some people of certain complexions who will probably be a little jealous of how I've been tanning while sitting on the porch. So I am very proud.
Nice.
I do nothing else this summer. My tan is on fleek right now. My tan is on point. It's on point.
Nice. Nice.
So yes, I'm very proud of myself of just getting all this vitamin D, just sitting outside, and it's like Courtney, the South, it's going to get even hotter. We're in July.
Yeah, it's not even August yet.
No, it's not even August. We got one more month. We would be all right. Hopefully.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
I will be praying for you it's hot here too. It's today, I don't know what high it reached. Still 91. Okay. Yesterday I think it was like 95, and tomorrow's supposed to be 98. So, but at least today there was no humidity. So I didn't have to necessarily have that extra oppression because, hey girl, because, she's outside and that Southern hospitality. So I already know that she's out there waving to her friends and they're waving back. So that's anytime I hear that, that's going to happen. So just be prepared. But yeah, we're all, surviving the best we can. Hopefully, even you, dear listener, have I don't know why mint julep came to mind, but just something icy and refreshing, something cool.
Yeah.
Make sure you drink your water daily. Yes. And not just because it's hot, but do drink your water every day because it's important for your health. That is my PSA for the day. Courtney, we've got breaking news. Can you give me the breaking news chime? Now, I actually shared this with you earlier today, but Korra, or The Legend of Korra, the spin-off sequel from Avatar: The Last Airbender, is going to be on Netflix, in a couple weeks? Or a week?
Yeah, I think so.
I forgot the date.
I think it's on early August. I can look it up real quick.
Okay.
But it is early August, I think. Let me look it up. Hang on. August 14th.
August 14th.
All right.
We here at the Indu Podcast are big fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series, and hopefully the live action series, whenever that's supposed to come out. Hopefully they finished it. I don't know if they did. I have no idea. I keep trying to keep tabs on if it's completed or where the stage is on production. I recently saw an article, or at least the headline, that John Boyega wants to be part of it. So that's cool. They're still shooting. I don't know. But looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to Korra because I never did finish that series. So I think I'll probably start from the beginning and just go through. And we may have to call our old friend to see if she wants to come back and chat about it.
Yes. So, confession.
Mm-hmm.
I did you know, Alyssa? I don't think you knew. Sterling, did you know that I had not actually finished Korra yet?
I think I did know. But first, we're backing up a little bit. Alyssa, have you watched Avatar or Korra? Are you familiar?
I have. Not at this point. I've been seeing the fandoms and the excitement, but I'm behind on all of my things right now. So that's the life that I'm living.
Well, you are busy, and we're going to get to you in like 2 minutes about all the things that you've been doing, because you've been doing quite a bit. But that's just a tease. But we'll wrap this Korra thing up real quick. And is it the last season you haven't seen, or you just haven't, Courtney, I almost said Last Airbender. Last season of Korra?
So I think there's 4 seasons, and I believe I know I haven't seen the last season, and I'm pretty sure I haven't seen most of the 3rd season because I told you earlier I just purchased Last Airbender and Korra on Blu-ray. And I was starting the 3rd season of Korra, and I was like, oh, I don't remember some of this stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd season that I have not, I haven't really watched much of, or the 4th. So yay for me for basically rediscovering a new old show. I don't know.
and also yay for you for Blu-ray, because that was just for you.
Thank you so much.
I'm still an advocate for Blu-ray, and you getting these new technologies, because they do help. And as you had told me, because I feel like I was accursed, or what's another word? I can't think of one right now. But like whenever I would buy a movie, a physical copy of it, it suddenly is now streaming, and then like, wow, this defeats the purpose. But you come through with your wisdom and your knowledge and your grace, and you're like, yes, but just as easily as it appears on the streaming service, it can be taken away. But you have your hard copy media version, which will never be gone. So
correct. It's always fun. Right. And I have special features, so that's a plus.
Exactly. Like you don't get that. Although I think Disney Plus does special features too. But that's, different. Kind of. Well,
yeah, they're not on, the Korra and Avatar are not on Disney though. So
this is true.
Still win.
Right.
Still
yeah.
Win.
Netflix doesn't have special features. They gotta, I want to say step their game up, but then if they do that, they're going to up their price, and I don't want that. So.
Yeah. Right. No.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully getting time to binge all of Korra, and then maybe we'll see about doing a special episode about it and talk about our feelings about it.
Nice.
But Vilissa, you have been busy, and you've been doing quite a bit, mingling with quite a few people. Did you want to share a little bit of who you? Because I remember when you were even texting me saying I'm going to be meeting with someone, and you're dropping like hints and clues of who it could be. I'm like, I have no idea. But then you end up giving me initials, and I'm like, oh, okay. I use my Googles because I'm smart.
Google did not let you down.
They did not.
But this summer has been quite interesting in a very good way. Since the last time I was here for the Friendsgiving episode, I had left the job that I had at the time. So I've been fun employment / freelancing for the past 8 months. It was probably the best decision that I made in 2019. It just came to a point to where opportunity opened itself up. They wanted me to move to where they were based, and there was no reason for me to move because my job was completely digital. And I was already getting burnt out and was like, you know what? Time for me just my exit. Let me just wheel on out there. And so, so since then, I've been just really figuring out what I want to do with my life, having a very long extended summer. And now that the summer has come, it has been on and popping. The hint that I gave Sterling was earlier this month, we did a Black woman roundtable with Ayanna Presley, which was AP with the initials that I gave Sterling.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it was, every bit of Black girl magic, or in this case, Black disabled girl magic. It was a roundtable to discuss disability and chronic illnesses. For those of you who may be living under a rock, Ayanna had came out earlier with alopecia, and she's been on this incredible journey in embracing her disability and her disability identity. So this roundtable was a way for her to engage with women in the community about what's going on with us at this time, how we're dealing with the pandemic, just how we're dealing with things in general. And it was such a robust, very sister girl conversation. It was my first time really engaging with her, and she was just incredible.
Hey girl. Sorry.
Yeah, it was definitely hey girl moments. It was just very incredible to engage with her, to see her not just as Congresswoman Ayanna Presley, but just our sister Ayanna.
Yeah.
And that was just really like the joy that I needed for this month. Is with everything's kind of going on right now, it's nice to have those glimmers of good times. So that was very, very fun opportunity that I had, just to be in her company, being in company with other Black women that a lot of them I knew since being online with activism, but it was just nice to finally see faces and hear voices, and not just see them on Twitter or Facebook. So that was very fun as well. So it was a really good community engagement of like an hour and 10 minutes of this Black girl magic all around.
Oh, that's awesome. So you got a new friend, or maybe a couple, since you said it was a round table. So
a round table, yeah.
Yes. There were some very familiar faces, but some new ones to me too. So it was nice to be introduced to different folks in the space.
That sounds great. I mean, was this a private function, or was it something that like other people could watch? Or
it was invitation only. It was held by the organization I'm doing my fellowship under, the Center for American Progress. So they had sent invitations out. Of course, with me being a fellow I was a part of, I helped to create the guiding questions for the event. So that was my contribution, pre-event. But yeah, it was invitation only, and it was we really had a good group of folks that participated. So that really made the time fly. Like we looked up and an hour was already going, like, oh my gosh. So you're in good conversation and you don't, time just slips away. So it was hot. It was very good.
Plus you were in the room where it happens, so that's great
right.
Too. Yes.
Mingling with folks of that caliber. Well, good job. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy you're having pandemic aside, a good year. And I mean, I would say that's that I can't even speak. Certainly a highlight of good times.
It definitely is, especially during these times. You got to have all the good vibes and good energy that you can grab.
Which is why we wanted you to come back to this show, because you just bring that natural good vibiness with you. And so, yeah, I'm glad you're back again. I don't know. I really should be keeping track of how many times I have certain people on like you, because I think you're up there. It might be like 4 times.
Yeah, like my 3rd or 4th time. I was thinking about it today. I was like, how many times have I been back on here? I couldn't remember either. So we all got to do better.
I know. Again, I asked everyone's like, okay, we all ready? We prepared? And here I am just flying by the seat of my pants, which is a statement I've never understood, or an idiom, because you don't fly with pants. I mean, you can, or you should.
You should have on pants if you're flying. That should be a part of the wardrobe.
Please, and your shoes and your socks, we're all of that.
I mean, you have to take them off before you actually board the plane. But I think in my mind, I was thinking, I was thinking like your own plane, or even if you have the power of flight, but still you should be wearing pants.
Especially then.
Don't want anything dangling, as you're
popping out, flying,
right.
You just never know.
Right. Just keep it all There is a meme that I saved. I was going to say I stole, but I saved it from someone else on Twitter who used the analogy of pants when it comes to wearing masks in public. And I feel it's just better if I just share it with you guys rather than try to explain it. And I'll probably post it in the show notes. So it's just a little cliffhanger as I get that image for you guys. Let me get back to my notes before I go completely derailed. Other things going on these days, and I did tweet about this because I was clearly confused. So maybe possibly you guys can kind of chime in and help me, although I kind of feel like I know the answer already. So there's someone at hospital that I kind of work with. They're technically co-workers, but we don't really, work together. We encounter each other like in the hallways, coming or going, a fellow black gentleman, and I will see him and we'll make eye contact. Normally what happens, usually with other coworkers, especially my black folk, we will, nod, maybe say what's up, and that's it, keep moving. Very, 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 just niceties kind of things. Greetings, salutations. I do that with this particular gentleman, and I'll do either the nod or I'll say, hey, what's up, or whatever. And he just looks at me and just kind of keeps looking and just kind of keeps walking whatever direction he's going. And it's just almost as if the way he's looking at me, as if I'm maybe part alien, perhaps. His eyes are wide and he just doesn't like gesture or anything. Because he knows, he hears what I'm saying. He sees me, but he just doesn't reciprocate any kind of salutation. And I'm just wondering, is he feds?
Next question. I was not expecting that.
Right, that took a turn. So let me just kind of chew on that. So he does a thing,
girl.
But you do a thing. And he doesn't acknowledge the thing. He doesn't acknowledge you or doesn't reciprocate.
That's pretty much it. Like I'll say, because like you do when in passing, or even say it's one of Vilas's neighbors who honks the horn and say, hey girl, but it's like you just don't respond at all. You're just staring blankly at them, like, why are you talking to me, or who are you, or oh my god, what's happening, what do I say? It's a weird kind of blank stare. And once I did tweet it, one person responded, was like, well, maybe you tried dating their cousin. I'm like, if I did, I didn't know. Like, I don't know this person. I'm other than seeing them at, almost daily. So I'm wondering, like, do I just stop trying to initiate contact, or just because sometimes it's with other coworkers, especially the ones you see every day. Sometimes they're the ones that say hi first, or maybe I say hi first or whatever. So I try to wait and see if he says anything, but nothing. So I'm like, maybe I just shouldn't, because I don't want it to be awkward, and it just makes it even more awkward. And I just feel weird. Like, did I do something to you at some point and I didn't know? Is there something offensive? Is there something on my face other than the mask? And what's happening?
Yeah, it's a little peculiar. I think that's my favorite word to describe.
Peculiar.
Yes.
With people and things that you don't want to call them weird or strange, but I feel like it's a very polite way where everybody gets the tone of what you're saying. Very peculiar. I probably would just stop initiating, because it does get a little weird. But at the same time, you don't want to appear rude on your end because you stopped. So it's just kind of that awkward space of, this person isn't engaging, but if I stop engaging, will they care? Will they even notice? So you're kind of in a rock and a hard place to a degree on the mannerisms of what's appropriate or not. I know for me as a Southerner, everybody kind of speaks and says hello. So when I encounter people who aren't as friendly, it's like, oh, okay, I am definitely not either around a Southerner or in the South anymore if I'm not in the region. So it can be a little off-putting, but I don't know, some people weren't raised, so they don't know how to engage. That may be a very, simple answer. Some people may get they have a little social anxiety about engaging with somebody that they may not know. So it's kind of hard to tell. I don't think it's you necessarily. I think you're just being yourself, which is, friendly and trying to create rapport. But
don't get me wrong. If I didn't have to say anything to anybody ever,
then you wouldn't.
Right. It's just me, like you said, just trying to be friendly. Like, hey, I see you every day. I'm acknowledging I see you. And I'm just saying, hey, what's up? I'm not trying to engage in a conversation. I'm just acknowledging your presence.
Right. Human to human.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. So,
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm a little, I'm petty, and I'm just like, oh, so you're not going to talk to me. Cool. And I would just cut that off, I mean, some people really just don't want to be bothered, and they just don't want to be spoken to, and that's their prerogative. So I would, take the L and just be like, all right, cool. He's one of those who just doesn't want to socialize by means of speaking back. Cool. And just cut it out. I mean, I wouldn't take it personally. Some people really are just there to do the job, or maybe he's just got stuff on his mind because we all do.
Every day.
Just, sure. We don't know his life, okay?
I really don't, but, and I would,
don't know his life,
at this point, I would prefer a cold shoulder than the stare that he gives me.
Oh,
the stare that gets me though, because he stares at you.
That's his version of the cold shoulder. Let him be.
No, a cold shoulder just means you don't acknowledge their presence at all. You just keep walking, and why is he looking
at you though? He's not going to respond.
Exactly. He's looking at me like, dude, you know what you did, and I'm like, I don't.
Like you stole his last $5 out of his locker or something.
Did you steal his last $5, Sterling? Is that the true story here?
As far as from my recollection, from my memory, from being awake, as far as I know, I did not.
Huh. Okay. I mean, there's two sides to this story. So you say you didn't steal his $5, but
and
I don't know. I feel
that I say good luck getting it out of him, because he just may stare at you back.
He ain't even speaking to you at this point, is he?
We're not on speaking terms. We are not on speaking terms.
Y'all are not.
However, I think what I may have to do is just kind of, and this may seem a little weird, but go with me here. I may have to follow him and just see who else he may talk to.
I think no. Now we're getting into crazy territory, and I think you should not do that.
Creepy.
You need to follow me. Follow me here. because if he does not interact with anyone, maybe he's just a ghost, and I'm the first one that notices him.
Okay, well now you're making more sense. Okay, now I'm following.
Yeah. Now we'll have to ask.
Or
do other
maybe
people notice this too?
That's what I'm saying. Or I'll see if anybody else talks to him, or if he talks to them, or if he, goes back into a spaceship. I don't know. Well, I don't know what he does when he leaves the building. So that's what I'm saying. I just need to see what else, or maybe he just turns to the corner and I don't see anybody, but all of a sudden he goes, yep, 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 yep. And I'm like, okay, that explains it. He does not understand English or human contact, but he is not human. So that's what, I need to determine what is going on with this person, if he is a person. I don't want to deny him his personhood or his individuality. Wow, that was individuality. Yes, I don't want to devoid him of that or take that from him.
Sure.
Unless he's part of a collective, I don't know. I don't know these things until he says
because he doesn't speak to you. Yeah,
right. He just looks at me in a way
weirdly.
Yes.
Makes everybody uncomfortable except for him. Clearly, like he knows what's going on.
Right. And he's keeping it to himself, and which I respect that. But just
do you though?
I don't know. I just I feel like that's the politically correct thing to say at that point. It's like I respect you. Just look away, avert your eyes from me, because he's got big eyes too. Just
he got bug eyes and he's staring at you.
I mean, this is why I'm so uncomfortable.
At you, whoa!
Right, and I'm the one who's just trying to initiate and let's be friendly. I'm not trying to hang out after work. I just want to say hi because we pass each other in the hallway like every day. But you look at me as if there's something amiss. Maybe I'm glowing and I don't know. I don't know.
Are you the alien?
It's possible.
Ooh, that's a plot twist right there.
I'm never going to deny, the possibility that, so not everybody does this particular peculiarity. Yeah. Got it. So
now I'm on the same train as Courtney. I'm petty, so I would just stare back and look at you like you look we just gonna be looking together, okay?
Together at one another in weird, awkward silence. Yes.
If I had the time, maybe I would, just initiate that way. Or maybe he's trying to talk to me telepathically. And I'm just,
there you go.
Yeah.
You didn't think about that, did you?
I did not.
Until now.
So now I'll just try to open my mind and I'll do, the whole either Jean Grey or Professor X and just, hold my fingers to my temple and, because that's what you do to initiate the telepathic powers.
He did say he had big eyes, so maybe he was trying to communicate with you by looking.
But instead, what I'll probably do, like Professor X does, is I'll squint my eyes and then put my fingers to my temple and be like,
Lord have mercy. And correction, only the young Steve McAvoy Professor X does that in the movies, not Sir Patrick Stewart.
Did you call him Steve McAvoy?
Did I call him Steve?
It sounded like you said Steve. Do you know what his first name is?
Steve.
It's not Steve.
No. This is a test.
Well, shoot. James. It's James McAvoy.
There
Did I
you
say
go.
Steve McAvoy?
I think you said Steve.
Oh, God. Oh, I know it's James.
Yes, it is James. Steve McAvoy is his younger brother.
Who is not telepathic.
He is not telepathic, but he is telekinetic. So there you go.
Are you serious? You're not serious.
No, I'm not serious. Courtney Elizabeth Hinton, come on now.
Listen, it's been a rough, year. So please get off of my back.
Get all the way off of your back.
Get all the way off of my back and just I'll just take the L in silence and never speak again in my
all right. Well, let me get off of that thing for you then, and we will move on to other news. This is the recommendation which I believe I had recommended to you. I know we're already jumping all over the place. Do you remember? I think I told you that the Dissect podcast was doing the Lemonade album.
Yes.
They just kind of concluded and wrapped it up. Yes, it's highly a recommendation. I do recommend everyone check it out. Well, at least speaking for Courtney and I, we are not huge. I'll say we're not huge Beyonce fans. I think we're just maybe mild Beyonce fans, but we're also fans of high art and just intellectual things and things of that nature.
And blackness.
And blackness, yes. And Viola, say you can join in that. I don't know how you feel about Beyonce.
I love Beyonce. She's a Virgo. She's Scorpio moon, Virgo sun. So of course that's my sister right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like literally her person.
Yes.
I was unaware and uninitiated, but but this is also a recommendation to you then, unless you have been listening. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. I'm just springing it on everyone just now. So
I haven't heard of it, so this is my first time. So I am glad to know.
Yes, they just wrapped up this season. They went track by track. Not only did they talk about the musical album, but also the visual one. And they had a special, I don't know if she's just for this season, but they brought in a black woman who I believe is a writer. I'm not sure, but she helped to analyze and break down each line and each visual of both the album and the visual.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and it's also really interesting because even while things were happening, like when George Floyd was murdered, the episode that came out, like it was almost as like, I want to say timely. Like it was already recorded, but it came out, and I think they even came to record just a little bit of the beginning. Like, so this just happened, but we had already this episode recorded. So, and it just fit with everything that was going on. And I think the song that they were doing was Freedom, I think. So, or that might have been the Juneteenth episode. Either way, it all kind of just fit with everything that was going on. Like, wow, like this season was right on time.
I could be wrong, but it seems like you reminded me about this podcast around the time of George Floyd's death. And so I could be I can't remember, but I feel like it was that time. Yeah.
I may have, because it's just been one that I look forward to. I think it's every week, and they're going to do, I think, like 2 more episodes, because this last one was like a Q&A, and then they're going to do one for like Jay-Z's 444 album, and then I think the album they did together, and then they're going to do one more episode with talking about Black is King, the Beyonce film that's coming out.
That's getting ready to come out soon, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, it should be.
I believe next week. If not next week, the end of July, which was more or less next week. So yeah, which I'm looking forward to. I saw another trailer for it. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to dive in. I may not necessarily understand everything that's happening, but I'm ready to just absorb it, because I do like art like that. But I'm also ready for this episode to come out, because I know they will go in and bring out all the imagery that they saw and, dissect it, because that's what they do. But it's also just high praise for a podcast I do enjoy, because they will do that. I think this is season 6 for them, because they did Lauryn Hill's album. They did Kendrick Lamar.
Which one of Lauryn Hill did they do? Miseducation?
The Miseducation, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Courtney, you act like there's more than one album, Courtney.
I mean, I was gonna go with it because she had the Unplugged album.
I was like,
right. She's had some, like, I don't know, like
Fuji's.
side
That's a whole
stuff.
separate thing now.
I know. I wasn't thinking of Fuji's. I was thinking like her little. Yeah,
and then
you're right.
she did
we'll never
work
get
on
another one.
I'm trying to help you,
No, we're
Courtney.
not.
I'm trying to help you, but you're right. Violas is right, because like she's just got really that one album, but
yeah, I know,
because she did assist in the What Happened to Nina Simone album.
That's right.
And then she submitted a song for what is it? Queen and Slim, but that's not an album. That's a song, so it doesn't really count.
She's just gonna tease us songs or these bodies of works and never give us
anything that we want.
She's just going to do like she does for people waiting for a show and eventually give us
Just keep
something
us waiting
much
forever.
later. Yeah. Miss Laura Waiting Hill. Lauren Waiting Hill. That's,
I love it.
but hey, I still love her and her music.
I know. She's just great.
I mean, it's just still like relevancy. How many years ago was that album came out? And it's just...
I don't want to count the years because that means I'm old.
Right. True facts.
Not that I want to bring us down, but speaking of facts and years, I did a little like research, but must give honor where honor is due. We lost the great Congressman John Lewis recently, who, this is part of the research I did. He had been in service for us for 33 years. So 1 year shy of how old like I am. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a long time, doing a lot. And I know I had it in my wish list, but there's a graphic novel, I think a 3-part graphic novel called March. So I do want to get that. And I'm glad that they were able to finish. I get the documentary about him, Good Trouble, which I do believe, Vilissa, you also consider yourself a good troublemaker.
Yes, I do. And that tagline is definitely influenced by Brother John Lewis. Some of you may not know that he's a man of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, which would make him my frat brother. So, just feeling connected to John Lewis in many ways, just knowing his history and, knowing people, particularly in disability spaces, who knew about, his own story and, how he really was a champion and a co-conspirator for the community. We really, lost a giant, over the weekend. So it's very sobering, to remember him, but also uplift his life and the good trouble that he made for all of us. And, he's just a phenomenal figure that, just makes me want to do better, in what I'm doing in my work.
Yeah.
I found an article or more of an essay, opinion piece by Nicole Austin Hillary. And it was just the headline that grabbed my attention. John Lewis' answer to my question guides me to this day. So I'm like, so I read the whole thing trying to get to the questions. Like, what did she ask? So, and I will just read. Oh yeah, is that a whole sentence? Okay, it's a whole sentence. Yes. It was his response to my last question that stuck and continues to guide me to this day. Up to this point, this is like her first time actually meeting Mr. Lewis. And he was just so gracious with his time and just talking to her and just going on and letting her ask all these questions. And nothing was just like, I don't know. It just seemed like a great time. So she was sharing that experience. And this was what she said for her last question. I'm just summarizing up to this point. When I asked him how young people could ascend to leadership roles when seasoned leaders are unwilling to teach and mentor, he stiffened his back and without missing a beat told me, "We didn't ask permission to move into leadership. We took it."
Ooh,
right. Ooh,
I like that.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Yes.
I'm like, whew.
Yes.
Love it. And of course, yet again, it brought me back to Hamilton and Burr taking, Skylar's seat. Saying like, hey, I did what you did. I took it.
That's just how it goes.
Just how it goes. But yes, that is a great word and something to, I don't know, keep in mind in these new times when the waters are troubled. Like, just going to take that leadership from you and run it instead. Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good day. So yes, that is my Black History fact, which is more of a reflection, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah. Like an in remembrance,
yes.
of a great leader.
Yes, I like that too. So one of the things I did promise Vilissa was I was going to talk about the kid and some of the things that had been happening these last couple months in particular. I did share a story last week or last episode because people voted for the title of that episode to be Pocket Food. So as far as I know, there hasn't been any more incidences of food being delivered in pockets. So that's a plus. We're learning. Good job. However, there was a FaceTime call that I did with Courtney a while back where she got to meet, or basically Ken and Courtney got to meet via FaceTime, and he did, or you did, yes, and got to hear firsthand. Wow, hold on, my headphones were doing something weird. Okay, it's all good, but you got to see some of the random things he likes to say, whether they were coherent. One of which really tickled me was the fact that he was trying to tell you about Michael the bird, or rather that a bird bit him, but the way that he speaks, it sounded like a Boyd. And you, Courtney, were a little confused, like, a what bit you?
Yeah.
And he's like, a Boyd.
That's super. Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
So yes, it was a bird that bit him. The bird's name is Michael.
Oh. I thought he was saying a boy named Michael bit him.
Nope, a bird named Michael. Because sometimes he'll just talk to us about Michael, and we're thinking about some boy or some man, and we forget it's a bird, and this is at his father's house. Now,
is it a bird like on the outside, or what?
It's a bird. It's an actual pet. Yeah, it's a pet bird.
Oh, okay, cool.
The next part is that this bird is a female bird named Michael.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like Michael from what's it? Star Trek.
Right. That's the only one, because I said that to I think my brother-in-law, and that's the only one he can come up with too. So
right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know who named the bird. I don't even know who owns the bird, but yeah.
So many questions.
So many questions.
So many questions that need answers,
And I knew you were confused, Courtney, so I'm like, I will explain this to you later.
Well, like you said, kids have a very distinct way of speaking. And, I know, like, the kids in my life, I know how I basically, not always, but I basically know what they're saying. But because, like, that was my first time meeting Ken, I just was like, okay, what? Because you just have to learn their little way of speaking and their little dialect and stuff. And I didn't get it.
And it was completely random because it wasn't even something we were even talking about.
Right. It doesn't matter, though. It's important to him.
It was important to him, and the fact that he needed you to know that. And
exactly, right.
He didn't even share it with us. Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we didn't even know about Michael biting him at some point. So
bless.
And
now you do.
Now, yeah. And that was days ago.
Keep me around. I'll get the secrets out of your kids, folks.
Like what's in his pockets, and where he hid such and such a thing. Because now his new thing is saying, I don't care. But I don't think he really understands what that means. Because he's like, I don't care. Because I'm trying to think of an example. I'm like, let's say, for example, like he left a toy outside. And he was like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, oh, you don't care? So you don't mind if it gets rained on and all the paint and stuff comes. Like, oh, no, I don't want to get it. So, yeah, he doesn't have a concept of really what that means. I think he just heard somebody say it and felt like, oh, that's a response I'm now going to use. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to treat you like you know what that means. And I'm going to eat this pizza. Right. I'm going to eat this pizza. And you're like, and I don't care. I'm like, fine, I'm going to eat all of it. And then it's all gone. You don't have any pizza because you didn't care. So there was another word that like we're surprised that he used. Oh, suddenly, because he was telling you about
that's right.
How he was having this dream, and he loves to talk to you about his dreams because they're very elaborate, very what's the word?
Detailed, vivid.
detailed, cinematic at times.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it's as long as an Avengers movie. So it's a lot happens. And
yes.
But the part that got us was when he said, suddenly his mom woke him up.
Right.
So
It was amazing.
It was amazing because we were like, first of all, what do you know about a suddenly?
Right.
So, yeah, because he was upset because of the abruptness of his dream ending because his mother came to wake him up.
Right. Because that's her job and you can't just sleep all day, child.
Right. So he's something else. The last story that I also told you I needed to share with you. I don't think it came up in the call, but it was an event like, okay, this is clearly like a 4-year-old thing, but it's also a 4-year-old who was suffering from FOMO. Or just one that doesn't want to go to sleep yet. I don't know. As we sent him off to, go to bed because it was late. And I guess we may have put on some maybe nature documentary or let him watch a tablet. I don't remember, but he went off to bed. And where he has to travel a whole floor to come back to wherever we are. So he's got to go like upstairs and everything and all this stuff. So he's off to bed. About an hour later, we hear like footsteps coming up. I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? And then he creeps in all out of breath.
Oh, no.
King cobras are cool.
What did he say?
King cobras are cool.
Okay. All right.
And then he walks out of the room and goes back to bed. So I turned to Ashley and I'm like, he came all the way up here just to tell us that.
I mean, he's not wrong though.
No, they're fascinating.
Yeah, I mean,
they're actually quite cool. So maybe it just like hit him right then and there. I need to tell somebody this.
I think that's what happened. I just know that in my mind, then again, I can't quite remember when I was 4, but in my mind, I'm like, what else do I need to learn? I should stay here and continue to watch this because there's more information that needs to be, obtained. Not that like, oh my God, I need to go tell someone right now and I can't wait because I'm pretty sure he left it playing and then, kind of came back and missed a whole chunk from the time he had to climb, Mount Everest to get to us to tell us king cobras are cool. Not why they're cool, but just that they're cool. And
that's all you need to know though.
Yeah. So
I get it. I really do get it.
So yeah, those are just some of the new experiences that I'm having with this. I've heard the term now, bonus child. So yeah,
I've used that term on you. You had better say you got it from me.
Yes.
This was the first. I heard it for the first time today. So
oh my, you really don't listen to me.
I listen. I don't recall this being a thing. It was just. I don't know. I'm sure you must have said it. It's just,
I know I have. With you around. I know it, Sterling.
Yes.
Because I have 3 bonus children.
I just forgot. I apologize.
I swear. People just need to listen to Black women.
Facts. Big facts.
They do. I've got a t-shirt on sale. Go to TeePublic. Search and wait. Go to Indoob.com/store. You visit to the store. You'll find the Black Women t-shirt. Listen to Black women. Pay Black women. Hire. I think Hire is on there. I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's on there. It's for sale. Go get it.
But sir, you need to follow the principle of the shirt.
I was trying to divert that into a plug.
Capitalizing on our, anyways.
We see you. It's all right.
The funds are being used to raise a healthy little black boy to respect Black women. So, boom.
I like how you spin that. I'll allow it.
I told you it's spun and it is now quilted. That is now my thing. So yes. Let's move out of that hole that I dug myself into.
Yeah, pretty deep.
It is. I don't have any word watches for you. I haven't done any Sheboygan news in a while either, only because I haven't been looking for it. It's just sometimes just try to avoid the news, and plus all the news was the same, like everybody just staying home or not staying home. So I'll see what I can do by next episode if there's anything happening out there. But yeah, I think that just about maybe. Oh wait, nope, I did not. There is a scam going around that I almost fell victim to as I was apartment hunting, and I know, but this is all praise. See, this actually goes back to listening to Black women. So this is the moral of this story. I'm letting you know ahead of time, all right? Because there's connective tissue between these two stories. So as we were apartment hunting, we were looking in, I almost said Reddit, Craigslist. We were looking at Craigslist, which I'm already a little sketchy about as it's Craigslist. So found a really beautiful home that I went to go check out because it's like only a couple miles away from my house. I'm like, oh, let's look at this. You know, it's an actual house, got a nice yard, and person in the article, not the article, in the listing was like, you know, this home, blah, blah, blah. We got stuff in it. There's like couches. We just want you to take care of it, blah, blah, blah. So if you're interested, reach out. Like the rent was good. Like it was too good to be true kind of thing. So
yeah,
I decided to give it a shot and just to see, you know, what was coming back. And I got an email that came back like, you know, later on. I was like, oh, well, thank you so much for responding. And he gave me like this whole life story about how he is currently in Vegas because, I don't know why he's in Vegas, but while he was there, I think maybe his wife got sick or some tragic accident happened and his son died. And his wife is, I guess, still in the hospital. And I guess he's going to be there for a while. So he just needs someone to rent out his house. And he took it off like the realtor's website and stuff because like a realtor came and they wanted to rent this much. I'm like, we don't want to rent that much. I'm like, oh, and blah, blah, blah. So then he went into the details of the house, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, cool. And discussed it over with Ashley and everything. She was like, okay. So she's also a little weird about it, as was I, because there was some little grammatical issues here and there, which is usually a red flag. It's like, okay. I even let my parents look at it, and they liked the house. They thought it looked very nice, but also they were like, you know, do your research, check it out, and everything.
Right.
Which, after I sent back, like, you know, the information he was looking for, he eventually called me, and he's got a strong, like, I'll just say African accent. I wouldn't even try to do it because I don't want anybody calling me like Forrest Whitaker from Black Panther. So that was difficult enough to try to understand him because it was kind of strong, but also it sounded like he was reading from a script. So I'm like, okay, because I kept asking questions and he was kind of derailing them, like, because I had just visited the house and I saw that the lawn was just cut. So I'm like, who's taking care of the lawn? And like, if I were to rent this place, would I have to take care of the lawn? Because I don't like being outside. So, but he didn't answer those questions. He kind of kept saying like, when would you be able to, you know, make your down payment? Because one of the questions was about how much could you put on a down payment if you could pay today? And this was like Saturday evening. So he's calling me. He's like, yeah, can you put money down today? Because that's what one of the questions was. Like, yeah, I thought that was like theoretically, like after you show me the place, like what I have ready in the bank to give you, you know, per se that day, not like right now. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. Because money's not a problem. No. But what do you have right now? And I'm like, yeah. Even if I had money right now, how do you expect me to get it to you? And it's like, well, yeah, again, because of his accent, I'm not really sure what he said, but it sounded like he said, go to the gas station and get a gift card. And he could have also said to get a MoneyGram. I don't know. I heard a G in there somewhere. So it's either MoneyGram or gift card. I don't know. But I'm like,
my goodness.
Yeah, none of that's going to happen. It's Saturday, like night. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not even home. So the best I can do would be Monday. So Monday comes around, which, for us is yesterday. And
Yeah.
I decide to go with Ashley's advice. And I called the realtor because she found it on another website, the same listing. And I called up the realtor. The realtor asked, or got in touch with her, and was like, "Yeah, do you know this person and with this listing?" And she was like, "Oh my God, this person or this house has been a number of scams, and the police are investigating this. Do you have any information?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. I've talked to the person and got emails." I'm like, "Wow, that's great," because the other people that got scammed, they already lost money. They went to the house with furniture ready to move in, and I'm like, "Oh wow, that's terrible."
Wow.
So yeah, we exchange information, and hopefully, I mean, it's really difficult to kind of catch people like this because everything was probably a dummy phone, dummy email address, and everything. But hopefully, it helps. But yes, I'm glad to be marrying a very smart Black woman. That
Amen. Well, good for you.
Yes. And the hunt continues, but for a more reputable, place.
Man.
Yeah. So that all goes to say, listen to Black women because they're trying to help you and keep you from being scammed, among other things.
Trying to make sure you keep all your coins.
Exactly. So that is the moral of that story. And I do listen. That's also why I tend to have a lot of Black women on this show.
Because you're redeeming yourself.
Oh, thank you. I heard your is all throughout. Viola's is not a guest. She's been here 5-8 times now. So
true.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. But I heard your Courtney, because you're still I felt you, hands on your hips, tapping your foot, just I don't think I forgot what you said 10 minutes ago. But yeah, that's all I have for this episode. Although I do want to remind anyone out there, if you got questions, you can always, hey girl, ask us. Use the hashtag AskIndoob or email us at indoopod@gmail.com. I don't remember if I say that in the new closing I have recorded, but I just want to get that out there. So if you have questions, feel free to send those over so we can chat about them and maybe help your life a little bit. Because we know stuff.
We do what we can,
Yeah. So that does wrap up this episode. Vilissa, do you have any shout outs or plugs or things coming up or any of that you want to share with the people?
Yes. This month I celebrated 7 years of doing my disability activism. So if you want to continue to support my work, I have a Patreon at Ramp Your Voice. I have my website, rampyourvoice.com, because I am freelancing and doing this good work and making good trouble. I'm available as a public speaker, a consultant, a writer, and anything that you may need in the world of intersectionality, Blackness, and disability. So you can find me on Twitter at my name, Vilissa Thompson, and holler at me.
You said that was 7 years?
Yep, 7 years. Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yes. Because that is a feat. And doing great stuff over there. And yeah. Courtney, do you have any things?
I do. So you can follow me over on the Twitters, where you can find me at I am Kay Hinton. I want to shout out a couple of podcasts that I've been really giving a lot of time to, or will be giving some time to coming up. The Office Ladies podcast. It's hosted by Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, who played Pam and Angela on The Office, and it's basically what Dissect is doing. Dissect did Lemonade and some other songs and other pieces of work, I'm sure. What Jenna and Angela are doing is basically breaking down every single episode of The Office, and it's amazing. So it's definitely for Office super fans, for
like
Office,
yourself.
Yes. And for Office, just maybe kind of fans, or if you watch it every now and then, it's just very interesting how they break down each and every episode. They bring in like past cast members and directors and writers. It's just so you get even more in depth of each episode of The Office, which I just eat it up. Mm-hmm. I believe it comes out every Tuesday. And so depending on where you're getting your podcast, you may get it like that day or the next day. But it's just really awesome. It's great. One that I've started listening to today, I believe it's called The Last Giants. I'm trying to pull it up really quickly. Land of the Giants. I apologize. It's called Land of the Giants. And they look into, I think, just different, like I know that they did a deep dive into Amazon and Amazon Prime. Right now I'm listening to one that is all about like the rise of Netflix. There's a
so it's
user
like
on
a tech podcast then?
I guess so. I just got live to them today, so I'm not really sure.
Still
I'm still
sussing
kind of,
it out.
Yeah, but I mean they've got like a ton of episodes about Amazon. But there was a user on Twitter who was interested in how tiny little Netflix, or tiny at the time, little Netflix was able to basically squash a Blockbuster. And I was like, that's a good point. Let me, and so of course you do the rabbit trail deep dive. And so a couple of different, pieces were suggested. This podcast was one of them. And so I'm listening to the first episode in that specific series about Netflix that kind of talks about how they got started, the culture of Netflix, and how just the culture was different. Anyway, it's just very interesting. So
I think I heard a clip of it actually, now that you mention it.
Really?
I think so, but yeah.
I've heard of it.
This is the first time I've heard of it, but like the whole Netflix model is has been studied and has been written about and talked about since they like made it public. Don't get me to lying when they actually made it public. I want to say 2009, but because Netflix has actually been around longer than I thought it was. I think they were saying like they came on the scene in the late 90s, which makes sense because Blockbuster was still around at that time, but they didn't get into the streaming game until, a few years later, of course.
Right.
And apparently House of Cards was their first like original Netflix show. Mm-hmm. Which now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But that was like their first, Netflix original, and that is what really catapulted them into the super giant that we know today. So it's just very interesting. So either of those podcasts are what I'm listening to at any given moment, if I'm not reading somebody's new book or working on my own. So yeah, look me up and chat me up.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, did you give your ways to look you up?
I did, but you can find me again on the Twitters at IMK Hinton. I'm other places, but you might as well not even try me there. I'm always on Twitter though. To be quite honest.
It's pointless. Don't even look us up on Facebook. I'm putting in both of us in that category.
It's just I can't. Nope. Just find me on Twitter, and you might find me there. You'll definitely find me there when I respond to you. Life is crazy, so
right.
Just be patient.
Because on Facebook, I mean, you'll be bored.
Never.
Yeah, because I'm never there. You'll just see
Instagram.
You'll see,
what's that?
I'm
TikTok. I wish.
Do you really? Do you want to be a TikToker?
I mean, kind of. I mean, they just make it look so cool and so fun. But I don't think I have it in me, but I don't have it in me. So, like recently, there's actually some TikTokers who they're apparently like writing an Avatar: The Last Airbender musical. And when I tell you, these songs are bops, and they hit and they slap, and all the lingo that the kids are using these days. When I tell you, these songs are amazing, I'm like, I can do TikTok, but I can't. So Follow those guys. I'm sure I've retweeted them, or I can send you. But I mean, but for real though, like the songs that they've created for these musicals are quite amazing. And yeah,
All right.
I could never.
Never say never. It's possible. But should you?
It is. It is.
Okay.
I'll let them carry that mantle for the time being, though.
That's kind of how I felt. Like, you know what? You guys have that. You have your Snapchats and your TikToks. I will sit over here with Twitter as it burns and flames.
Like where the old people are, apparently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because like Facebook's been
fun.
Right, yeah, pretty much, because parents have ruined Facebook for me, so I don't want to be over there anymore. So
No, it's not a good place to be.
No.
Then MySpace is in the corner, like, hey guys, did you forget about me? So like,
we've all forgotten about MySpace.
Except Justin Timberlake.
Have y'all heard that people are bringing back Black Planet? I know some people have like found it again.
I heard about that.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm like, I am not getting back on here. But y'all have a great time.
I was never on Black Planet, but I like knew about it. And I think as I was getting older, it was still like early in the like dial-up connection days that I was familiar with it. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to stay in my AOL kids chat room. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, guys. That's what I did too.
Age, sex, location, question
mark.
ASL. I think that's where I was old. I think us old are gravitating towards Black Planet because that's what we know about. And I'm like, I think the last time I logged into Black Planet was when I was in grad school around 2010, 2011. And that needs to be the last time I logged into anything Black Planet related.
Right.
Oh, wow. Black Planet. I mean, I think of that and I think of like GeoCities and all the pages. Oh, those were the days.
They were.
Do y'all remember Zanga?
Yes.
Is that crazy?
Mm-hmm. I had a
Zanga.
I don't think I had one. I had an X page though.
You had a what?
Yeah. It was X pages. Like EXPAGES.
No.
I had one of those. And then I had like, GIFs were kind of new. And yes, I used GIFs that way, not GIFs. Come on, GIFs of peanut butter. I used GIFs and I had like these dancing palm trees and someone left a comment like, your website's great. I just don't understand what the dancing palm trees are about. It's like, it's because it's cool. There's no logic to it. Stop overthinking it. So.
Wow.
I think it was X pages. Maybe it was something else. I don't know. I'm sure it doesn't exist anymore. But those were the days.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. You can follow me on all things at Indu as we all reminisce.
The good old days.
Yes, those were the good old days. Oh, man. When Pop-Tarts were like all you needed for breakfast.
Right. Oh.
For real.
I'm telling on myself a little bit because I don't eat them for breakfast anymore. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it alone. Notice I didn't say I don't eat them. I just don't eat them for breakfast. Yes.
We caught it.
Okay. However, I will say I am getting like I'm doing better like at being like a healthy adult. I eat oatmeal in the morning. Like I take some time out and have that. That's my moment. Do a little bit of like, I'll let Chief go outside, do what he's got to do for the morning. And, I sit in the silence, meditate, pray a little
whole
bit.
Adult. Look at you.
Wow.
No, it's only a few minutes, but, Chief runs back in like, there's food in my bowl. I'm going to eat a little bit of it while you're here. I'm like, great. I'm glad you're eating. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And then, it's like, okay, it's time for me to go because I'm going to be late. And, namaste, puppy. And then I go outside and start the day. And, but
very relaxing.
Right.
It is. Take a moment in just to like, okay, let's get ready, psych myself up for the day and attack or at least look like I'm attacking. But, just getting ready because, that's what it's all about. And just trying to keep basically things to do to keep the blood pressure down. And I want to say all of that. Thank our sponsors, the Salmon Administration, for providing us with good fish, good salmons. Yes, that's the plural. If you didn't know, it's salmons to help us lower our blood pressure, and all the other health benefits of eating salmon will do. And I'm vying to be on the salmon appreciation board, so I will get back to you guys with that soon enough. Anyway, follow me on all things at Indoob and go to Indoob.com. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live without regrets and live for the folks you love. Please wash your legs, your face, the bottoms of your feet, because they are gross. A lot of you people don't like wearing shoes, whatever. Or the flip-flops. Yeah, all the dirt and grime getting there. Yeah, do it, please. The undersides of your dishes. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
No.
Thanks for listening to the Indoob podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indoob network. Want more Indoob? Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Indoob, and on Facebook at IndoobPod. You can contact us and send Ask Indoob questions by emailing indoobpod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the T Public Store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indoob network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit Indoob.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production. Want free money? Of course you do. Want to save some money? You know you need to. Hey friend, I can help you do both. And if you're really ambitious, I can help you thrice. It's 2020 and it's time to get financially fit. Save and invest. And I've been on a few apps watching my money grow and work for me. And I want that for you too. So if you sign up for Acorns, Stash, or Digit with my links, you'll get $5 in your account to start. That's $5 for Acorns, $5 for Stash, and $5 for Digit. After linking your bank account, these accounts will take a few dollars after every transaction or on a set schedule to save or put into a stock portfolio. I know nothing about stocks, and you don't need to either. But hey, I'm learning. That's Digit at j.mp/digitindoob, or to get Stash, j.mp/stashandoob, or Acorns at j.mp/acornsindoob. So check out any of my links and let's get our lives together.